Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
If you want to be filmed with headphones on.
I don't think we need it if we're doing
funny,
this.
It'd be funny if you're doing a podcast fucking walking around. It's in the background. Let's get that building 19 in the background. And code name Excelsior, just make sure you're not in the shots. What's your code name that you want to use? I have an apple in here.
Oh, look at that. An apple a day.
You're just gonna hear me eating an apple through the whole video.
Guys, 2 cigarette smokers from New York City, apple eater from Rhode Island.
Look at the difference.
Who's more trustworthy, okay? I got some chain link to sell you. Want to buy the hot new crypto?
How do you think I got the apple? It's because I'm a teacher.
How do you think I got this apple? It's because I'm a teacher. These things are so cheap to me. I'm rich. I can afford 50 of these. I don't even care.
Gone.
Had to see the satisfying squish of impact, okay? If you're gonna do something crazy, if you're gonna hurt someone, if you're gonna break the law, I advise against it every single time. However, if you do so, make sure you're watching the satisfying squish of impact.
Any recent conspiracies you're real into?
No, just because I've been staying off Reddit and I've been like actively trying to avoid news and getting roped into discussions and stuff. So no, I'm not really up on what the news stuff is, but I do believe that like the conspiracy stuff you have to anytime you hear something, no matter how far-fetched it is, you have to at least like be open to the possibility that it's true, because what is just because like the actual truth or like the actual true series of events or whatever is so obfuscated by so many people, it's like there might be fucking aliens. How do you know? How would you fucking know if there weren't? You wouldn't.
I feel like a lot of conspiracies also, the CIA tries to get in, like to throw red herrings around conspiracies. I find that really interesting.
Yeah. It's so, fuck man. It's so funny to imagine CIA operatives like writing content, like posting.
Like us, like trying to like.
But it's like so real though, because like I would think it was like a joke, but then like the FBI comes and talks to me, and then you realize that like there's like people at the FBI who have to like sit around and like read tweets and like try to like figure out what the fuck they mean.
Well, now they have that whole 100,000 word article on you to by that NYU professor, so they don't have to do much digging anymore. We talk a lot about FBI stories. I don't know if you're comfortable, but have you ever?
Yeah, I've gotten a couple visits. Yeah. Mostly surrounding the shooter meme, which is strange that they have questioned me multiple times
And haven't figured it out yet.
And the second time, they were like, "We'll make a note in the file." And the last time it was like a little, like short Italian, or not Italian, but he was like a darker, like Mediterranean looking dude, and he looked like Columbo. Like he had like a real sort of private eye kind of look to him, and he came with 2 Providence cops who were like tall, clean cut, very white guys, and so it was just like visually so strange. It was kind of like something from Babylon 5 with the Psychor. What's the guy's name?
The guy who the Chekhov.
Yeah, Chekhov.
I don't remember what his name of the show is. I don't remember.
Fuck. It was like that, because it was this weird little like.
True tech warriors will know what the fuck this means.
This little head honcho guy, like dark, strangely dark, and like 2 big white, like almost their haircuts. They had like the crew cut, so it was like cone head kind of looking. It reminds me of like the Super Mario's movie with the Koopas, that sort of thing. But it was visually something else.
But nothing came out of it. You were able to.
No, I mean, yeah, no, nothing. They didn't arrest me for my Twitter account or anything like that.
You just like, you got the wrong guy, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I went through and showed him the fucking shooter meme like on my phone and stuff.
Yeah, that must be pretty fucking annoying.
It's really not that annoying. I think it's sort of interesting. The shooter meme. People think that it's. If I had a 9-to-5 job, it probably would have ruined my life. But it's not as annoying as people would imagine, I think.
Do you get any kind of like, oh shit, there I am on CNN?
No, I stopped paying attention. I think it's funny, but it's like detached from me at this point.
Like I feel like all this stuff you do is like it's very constructive in a way. Like I feel like building like alternate narratives out of like all the same pieces that everyone else has. It like fosters creativity. So that's what, like, whenever I watch any of your videos, that's how I always feel. Like it's not, cause like on the face of it, like I think people could look at your comedy, some people do, and they say like it has a real mean-spirited kind of thing to it.
Yeah.
But like, there's like that creativity. That's the mean-spiritedness, is like a contempt for like having to follow a story that is already set.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm definitely like in real life, I'm really not a mean-spirited kind of guy, and also like making fun of people and like the things that normal people do. I've never encountered bitterness and hate and just lowered humanity like I have when I worked a 9-to-5 like corporate job. Like the types of things that people like just office politics and like how petty and strange and like little people are, which I don't know if you can blame them for that. I mean, they're like hemmed into this like little life. So it's like, what would you expect out of people like that?
At my last job, like I worked in the department with all these girls, and they were just, you know, talking all day, and one of them was afraid that her chicken might have been spoiled or something. And I said, just like eat it, like bacteria is good for you, let's go build up your immune system. And then she like reported me to HR for saying that.
Wow.
And that's exactly how it is. It's like a really weird, like they're fucked up.
Yeah.
When
like,
you get in that environment, it fucks
like
with your head.
If you're online, I think it's most of the time it's pretty clear cut whether people hate you or like love you, and there's not a lot of like there's not a lot of like mind games that you have to play to figure out like where you stand. You know what I mean? In an office, when you have people like, especially if it's one where you're doing something where it's like competitive and there's the possibility for like you to advance or someone else to advance, or like titles have like weight to them, like that type of, I don't know, I guess it's like high school. I was more, I don't think in my adult life after leaving like the working world, I've never been anywhere close to as like unhappy or mental as I was in those jobs or in high school.
Absolutely. I've like, it's such a little, like I almost got kicked out of college for sure. For stuff like this. Yeah. Did you graduate RISD?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, you know, close. I feel like when you're someone with me, like someone like me, like I feel like people just hate me like automatically.
In a high school type environment.
Yeah, or like in a college, like the women.
Yeah.
It's like they don't know what to do.
Yeah. I know what you mean by that. I had a group in the first college I went to, which I had to leave, and they told me that they would not expel me, and they would write me a recommendation to RISD as long as I left. I had a group of girls, like 8 of them, form a coalition to go tell on me, basically, behavior. And it wasn't like sexual harassment or anything. It was like just like things that I would do as jokes. None of the complaints were like anything about sex or flirtatiousness or whatever. It was just like, this person, their existence is so upsetting to me that we have to form a coalition to go like tell on him and get him in trouble. It was crazy.
That's how it always is. Like I got almost kicked out because like my resident advisor, who was like this little Indian girl who was like 4 foot tall, and she started trying to say that other people were complaining about me.
Yeah.
And then I went and talked to the person, because I'm like a nice guy, and I was like, I didn't mean to say anything that like upset you. Like, you know, I hope that you'll accept my apology, like blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, I didn't say anything. I didn't complain. And then
other people.
Yeah, but then I had to go back to this this girl's like room and like ask her like, why are you lying about this? And then she, because we were alone, she said that I physically threatened her.
Oh my God.
That's fucked.
And the only reason I didn't get kicked out of the student housing was because there was somebody who was listening on the other side of the door.
Damn.
That was all that saved me.
Man, that's fucked. Yeah, that type of thing, I'm just so happy every day to be as far removed as I am from that shit. I had one girl, we did so I was doing industrial design. I wanted to be a car designer at the first school I was at, which is Carnegie Mellon.
Oh, that's why you're all fucking into cars.
Yeah, and there was one girl, Rachel, whose like parents were on, I think she was like connected to the school somehow or something, but she was just like she had like crazy bitch face, like you see her face and you know for certain that this person is going to somehow like damage your life. Anyway, so this chick, Rachel, we were doing industrial design and we had to give a presentation in front of the class about a product or something like that you could design that you care about. So like a physical object. And hers, she did shoes. So she got up in front of the class and had this, like up on a tacky board, pictures of shoes, like fucking 30 pictures of shoes. And she goes, she launches into this, because I think one of her parents is a teacher. She's like more comfortable with what she's doing. So she launches into, ladies, how many times have you needed the perfect pair of shoes? Am I right? Like this, like basically a stand-up routine talking about why she loves shoes and how she's got like 20 pairs of them. And so I forgot even how I made her mad, but I'm sure I made some joke where I was giving a fake presentation. I was like, I like every time I put them on my feet, and it's like, wow. And I walk around like, hey, all, like, ah. And
she didn't like that?
Yeah, that night, there's like this hallway, like desks on each side, like a gauntlet type thing. She screams and charges me and like jumping tackles me with her knees on my chest, and I land on my back and she's on my chest with her knees pushing down and like screaming at me. And I just like, it was like,
you should have kissed her.
It was like sexually thrilling. It was like, I was like, oh my God, what do I do? But yeah, that was before I got ratted out by the girl squad.
You wanted a cig, Sam?
Sam's a heavy smoker.
Okay, I'm not gonna skip that.
Do you don't do anything, like you don't drink beer?
Weed? I've probably been drunk like once, like actually past tipsy, and I've never been high. So no, I'm a teetotaler pretty much. I do like cigars and nicotine.